Alright, we're doing something a little different today. Usually I would normally upload 2K, but I just didn't really feel like doing it. So I wanted to just add to the seemingly useless playlist NBA reactions. I haven't done anything to go in that since the finals. So I figure I'd find something to react to, and this is what that's gonna be. It's a 2020 NBA mock draft, but I mean this one's a little different because this dude here who wrote it, Chris Forsberg, did it specifically based on team needs. So I'm going to just be looking at this mock draft and seeing if I agree with it or not. Pretty straightforward. All right, first up, obviously Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards. I mean, there's a pretty good. I thought there was a good chance that he was going to go here, but I mean, there's rumors. The chance that they draft LaMelo Ball is going up and up. I mean, Edwards is like, look, I'll just read this. What the Wolves really need is an immediate impact player who can help D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns morph Minnesota into a playoff contender. That's definitely Anthony Edwards. Freak athlete, good scorer. He's okay on defense, but he could definitely improve. I mean, the main reason why the Timberwolves wouldn't take Edwards is because they need defense. But I mean, I pretty much agree with that. Then we got an interesting one. Killian Hayes to the Warriors. I don't exactly like that. I mean, let's see. A armed with the number two pick. Blah 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 blah. They could use additional help on the perimeter. What? No. I mean, obviously the Splash Brothers, the two best shooters of all time. I mean, Andrew Wiggins is a good shooter, good shot creator. They've got some stretch bigs, and Eric Pascal, Marquise Chris, Draymond can still occasionally hit him. Obviously, Killian Hayes is really good at playmaking, but the Warriors also are really good in that aspect. Obviously, Steph is a really good passer. So are a bunch of other guys. So I definitely don't like that. I would have liked to have seen someone like Obi Toppin. And I guess I really need to just give my rebuttal here. What I think the Warriors need, um, the Warriors they really need. I know they're not interested in James Wiseman, but they need a center. They're really high on Marquise Chris. I guess I sort of am too, but I think he could be one of the best backup centers in the league. I don't know about his future as a starter, so I would have liked to see them take like James Wiseman here. LaMelo to the Hornets. I mean, what the Hornets are gonna do with this pick is they're gonna see what happens, and they're just gonna pick the best guy available. In this case, LaMelo probably wouldn't be the best available. I mean, he's really, really polarizing. He could either be a really, really outstanding player, an all-star, at least 10 times, or his lack of defense and three-point consistency could make him not necessarily a bust, but just like an average NBA player. So, I mean, once again, the Hornets just need the best guy available. I agree with that team need, but I probably would have liked to see them take James Wiseman here. We got Denny FD out of the Bulls. I mean, this pick is almost guaranteed if they don't like trade up. I don't think they'd trade down. There's been a couple of rumors, but they should not trade down. I mean, the Bulls, their only real need here is playmaking. Because, I mean, they've got plenty of scoring. Obviously, Zach LaVine was 25 plus points per game last season. Lauri Markkanen, even though he was pretty bad last season, he can still kind of score. Because we don't know if if people that were bad on the Bulls last year were bad because of Jim Boylan or if they're like actually bad NBA players. Avdija is one of the best playmakers in this draft, and he's 6'9". So that's pretty crazy. He has a chance. There's a chance that he becomes one of the best passers out of the small forward position in NBA history. Obviously, he's got like a really nice soft touch from mid range. So just adding some more firepower to this Bulls offense, whether that be shooting, scoring, or passing, that's what they need. So I support this pick. And we have Obi Toppin to the Cavs. Now I think Now, I think that the Cavs would likely, if they take Obi Toppin, a Kevin Love trade would likely be coming. I have not been seeing enough Kevin Love trade rumors. They need to get him off of the team because he is not great and he is eating their money. Um, Obi Toppin is really, really, really good. He's one of the best prospects in this draft. Won the He did like a complete college basketball awards sweep, I think, which is kind of insane. This guy can jump out the gym. He can score from pretty much anywhere. The three-pointer could get a little better. His defense is good. Another guy who's just like the total package here. And I think that it would be a good move for the Cavs to trade Kevin Love. Maybe not necessarily on draft night or on draft night. I don't know. No, not a draft night trade. No way. Because then they're not going to trade up or down, really. But it'd definitely be a good pickup for this roster moving forward. We have Isaac Okoro to the Hawks. There have been some rumors that they're going to trade this pick because they want to make the playoffs. I mean, it's not sort of like a get to the playoffs now thing because obviously Trae Young is only 21 years old, so he's got time. And defense is definitely a need for the Hawks. Well, it's not necessarily a need because they got guys like Clay Capella, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, who's average, I guess. But Isaac Okoro is insane on defense, and he's also a nice scorer. I mean, what they definitely do need to make the playoffs, they really just need a bunch more weapons who can just add a whole nother dimension to this offense here like Okoro. I'm not talking about his defense enough, but trust me, it's insane. He's one of those guys who defensively, it goes way beyond the stats. He doesn't get too many. He gets some, but not like the most blocks and steals you'll ever see, but like the IQ, the ability to move his feet, that kind of stuff, top notch. Would be a good pick for the Hawks. And we have James Wiseman at 7 to the Pistons. And the Pistons are in sort of the same situation as the Hawks. No, the Hornets. They just need whoever's the best available guy at that position. This offseason, they will be trading Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin and entering a full rebuild. And James Wiseman is an amazing guy to get behind on that. He can score in the post amazingly. He's a beast defensively and on the glass. He has an outstanding mid-range shot, and he's shown that he can sometimes hit the three occasionally. And since he's going to be in the NBA now, he's going to want to develop that a little bit. Because at 7'1", having a good three would be absolutely lethal. So I definitely agree with this. Devin Vassell to the New York Knicks. Ooh. I mean, part of this is just because of how the top 7 is panned out. I mean, I've been saying, because Killian Hayes is one of the best prospects, but I don't think he's going to get drafted too high. Killian Hicks was my pick to go to the Knicks at 8. But maybe I just feel bad for the Knicks and want them to get what's best for them. Obviously, they need a point guard. But, I mean, I don't know how I feel about Devin Vassell. I mean, at 8, they could probably just reach for, like, Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe not reach, but I probably would like to see them take Tyrese Halliburton here. Because, obviously, Fred VanVleet is a candidate to go to the Knicks. But it seems like Chris here is kind of counting on that happening. I just don't love Devin Vassell going to the Knicks. They already have R.J. Barrett, and maybe Kevin Knox isn't necessarily done yet. He's not going to be like the star he was projected to be. But, I mean, we'll have to see. I think they could have done better on this pick, though. Onyeka Okongwu to the Wizards. Yes. The Wizards, John Wall is coming back. Bradley Beal had the best season of his career and didn't even make the All-Star team. So that's major snubbery. He's going to be motivated. Onyeka Okongwu is pretty crazy. I mean, I haven't really watched like highlights or anything. I did watch him make like a three-quarter court shot at the halftime buzzer beater at USC. But this guy is really, really good, and he's gonna. The main reason why I like this pick for the Wiz is it's going to help their dismal, dismal defense. Obviously, Wall coming back should help that a little bit, but I mean, God, their defense is so horrible, and Onyeka Okongwu is gonna get them a lot closer towards fixing that. Tyrese Halliburton to the Suns. Interesting. I mean, it's very, very possible that they trade Ricky Rubio. Why does it have him listed as a wing? I don't get this. He's a point guard to me. 6'5", 175 pounds. That's a point guard. He was having an amazing season at Iowa State, but then he got injured, and that might be the reason why he ain't like a top 5 pick. The potential on this guy is huge. Um, the Suns definitely need defense. Honestly, I'm going to be brutally honest with you here. I don't know if Tyrese Halliburton is good or bad at defense. But they could definitely use a point guard. He's an amazing playmaker, and should they trade Rubio, who is top 5 in assists, Halliburton will definitely fill that void. Seems like the kind of guy who would grind up his defense should he be less than excellent at that. Again, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, he's definitely going to go a long way. I think the Suns will probably make the playoffs next year. He'll go a long way towards that. Patrick Williams to the Spurs. I mean, normally it'd be like, why would they draft another power forward? But I mean, at this point, the Spurs, they could kind of take anyone here. Probably not a point guard. No Cole Anthony. DeJounte Murray is their point guard. And Derek White had a huge bubble run, so probably not a 2 either. DeRozan is... I would not expect DeMar DeRozan to be playing for the Spurs next season. LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe, but if I were their GM, I don't know his or her name, I would probably get Aldridge out of there as well. And Patrick Williams is pretty underrated. He was like the 6th man for Florida State, I think. He didn't get too much playing time there, but when he did, I don't know about this actually. Just trust me on that. Don't trust me on it. What am I saying? Anyway, he's just a really good all-around forward. Can score a little bit. Amazing at rebounding and defense. So that's just sort of keeping the Spurs philosophy of just playing tough, doing whatever it takes to win. He's got to keep that philosophy alive, which is absolutely crucial for a young team entering a rebuild for the first time in 22 years. Tyrell Terry to the Kings. The draft stock of Tyrell Terry has been going up and up. He's an amazing shooter. I don't know if I don't... Oh, y'all can see the next pick there. Hey, what the hell? It's just... Oh, okay, I guess I can't fix that. I don't love this pick. I mean, obviously, they're probably going to trade Buddy Hield, so a shooter would probably be nice. I don't know about that, though, because it's not like they can just make him the shooting guard. He's only 6'2" and 160 pounds, and they can't exactly move De'Aaron Fox to the 2 either. So I don't know if I like this pick. I mean, Tyrell Terry is an amazing shooter. He was just constantly draining shots from the perimeter, and I guess the mid-range too at Stanford last year. He's got really, really good upside. He has the potential to be like a 50, 40, 90 guy and also like 20 points a game. Amazing upside, and I guess this pick is just for the potential and just an immediate shooting need should they trade Buddy Hield. So, I mean, I like that I like that they would get a shooter here. I don't know about a guy that they'd probably have to play at point guard. If they wanted someone to just come off the bench, if they had other plans, I mean, okay, I completely forgot about Bogdan Bogdanovic. He might not actually be coming back to the Kings, but if they do re-sign Bogdan Bogdanovic, I love this pick. He could be a 6-man spark plug guy. Jalen Smith. Oh, I hate this pick. I mean, Jalen Smith, he sort of split time at power forward and center at Maryland throughout his career, but if we can't bring back Derek Favors, I don't understand why we would get Jalen Smith. I mean, part of it is obviously the draft is before free agency, so I guess it's just erring on the side of caution because if um if Derek Favors doesn't come back, well, we probably actually no. Hold up, I'm just I'm just being stupid. I'm forgetting about like players on these teams. If we lose Derek Favors, we're gonna start Jackson Hayes. So Jalen Smith would serve as a nice backup to Zion because obviously his durability is still a concern. With the injury, with the meniscus injury, I don't think Zion. He's gonna get like 30 minutes a game, but he's not gonna get like huge minutes every night. And Jalen Smith will be a guy that can step in and it's nice to have a guy that you can count on, so you can feel comfortable giving your star player a breather. So forget what I said in the first half of this one. I do kind of like that pick, but if we can keep Derek Favors, we don't really need him that much. Sadiq Bey to the Celtics. Gordon Hayward. I mean, it's probably more likely that he leaves the Celtics than stays with them, because I mean, I don't know about the Celtics themselves, but if I'm Celtics management, Hayward's not a huge part of my future because obviously we got like Jason Tatum, who's an amazing forward, and there's like Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker. So Gordon Hayward's the fourth best player on this team right now. Uh, and Sadiq Bey, he sort of plays a similar game. He is one of the best shooters in this draft. He was one of the most outstanding catch and shoot guys in all of college basketball. He was like top 5 in that. I don't really know, but he can knock down shots whenever you need him to. He's a great defender. And yeah, he just give another whole dimension to this Celtics team, and I guess they could use a little bit of defense. Maybe not actually. And if they do keep Hayward, then Sadiq Bey would be an amazing scorer in the second unit, along with guys like Brad Wanamaker, Ennis Cantor, all of them. Aaron Nesmith to the Magic. I mean, if we're being honest, well, there's not really many other ways to go. Because, like, earlier in the season, you'd probably say they'd take a guy like Cole Anthony here. But Markelle Fultz is finally starting to be good again. That kind of makes me happy. I felt bad. He was getting so much criticism when it wasn't even really his fault. So, Aaron Nesmith, he'd certainly work with the Magic. I mean, I don't really know. This isn't sort of a pick where it's like, well, let me just, my brain's fired now. I don't really know what direction the Orlando Magic are going in. The way I see it, they have two choices. They can continue just like contending, and they'd probably be like the 7th, 8th, or 9th seed. All depends on what's up with Jonathan Isaac. Or they could choose to rebuild and try to like come back stronger. Let's see. Look at here. This caught my eyes. I haven't been reading these things enough. Mostly the Magic need to rebuild from their stuck in the 8th seed ways. That does make sense. Aaron Nesmith is an offensive monster. He was putting up like 24 points a game on outstanding splits before he got injured. Part of that was because he was on Vanderbilt, and they're like horrible, and he's their only good player. But I mean, you could see it wasn't just he's getting a lot of opportunities. This guy's talented. He has a lot of upside. So yeah, that's definitely a good pick for the Magic, who I think might consider trading like Nikola Vucevic and just heading into a moderate little rebuild. Aaron Gordon is probably going to get traded and not in Vucevic, but whatever. Precious Achua to the Blazers. The Trailblazers need defense. They're going to be at full strength. They'll have like guys like Yusuf Nurkic, Zach Collins back. Carmelo Anthony is pretty good again. Obviously, Damian Lillard. We don't know if they're going to trade CJ McCollum, but that's really not good defense. Achua is a beast on the defense side of the ball. He got a chance to show what he could do, after James Wiseman left Memphis, and he was outstanding. He was almost a 20-10 guy. I think he might have been. He's shown an ability to shoot the ball, and they could always use more shooting. Let's target shooting at the small forward position. I mean, that makes sense because Trevor Ariza out of the bubble, Rodney Hood gets injured a lot. Carmelo Anthony, I guess they're playing him at the power forward. So that does make sense. This pick somewhat surprises me. I mean, the Wolves are back on top at 17. Ooh, depth. That's right. Their backup point guard is Jordan McLaughlin, and he sometimes turns into Jesus in 2K, mainly 2K20. I don't know about 2K21. But he's like 5'11", so maybe not the best option at backup point guard. But you know what? I actually kind of like that pick. I didn't think about the Wolves getting like a backup point guard here that much, because sooner or later they will be wanting to make the playoffs. Maybe I would have liked a little bit more defense here. RJ Hampton to the Mavs. I forgot about this guy. So Mavs, I mean, they could definitely have him play point. Wait, no. I forgot. Luka's the point guard. They'd either run RJ Hampton at the shooting guard or as like the sixth man, but give him quite a bit of minutes. RJ Hampton has extremely high upside, and if he can reach his potential, the Mavs will be absolutely scary. So it's just going to be all about developing him. I mean, at least for next season, when they try to get to the playoffs again, I think they should probably use him as a reliever for Luka Doncic. But I do like this pick. Desmond Bane to the Brooklyn Nets, another knockdown shooter, and Joe Harris will probably get paid soon. And even though they have Kyrie and KD coming back, I think they're in need of another sharpshooter because the rest of the team, Jarrett Allen at center, no way. Their power forward would probably be like Taurean Prince, who's pretty good. But on the bench, they don't have much shooting. They do have all the guys from the NBA restart like Chris Chiozza, TLC, Rodions Kurucs, but all those guys probably won't get much playing time, so it's going to be crucial that they pick up another shooter here like Desmond Bane. Josh Green to the Heat. I mean, it's this draft pick right here is not that important if we're being honest, because they're probably going to be able to sign a star player with all their cap room, and they just made the finals. So it's not like the pressure's on Pat Riley here to make the right pick. But Josh Green, that certainly is an option. At 6'6", 210 pounds, he's more of a shooting guard. But I guess if they can't bring back Goran Dragic, they could use him as a backup for Kendrick Nunn. I guess my theory is this should be sort of like a Swiss Army knife type guy if he goes to the Miami Heat. I feel like he could play point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. He's a good 3-and-D guy for sure, Josh Green. And believe it or not, I mean the Heat might actually be in need of some more 3-point shooters, especially if they can't get Goran Dragic back. Cole Anthony to the 76ers. I mean, the 76ers, we don't even really know what's going to happen. Ooh, that's a voice crack. We don't even really know what's going to happen with them. They hired Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey. They might be trading Ben Simmons. But one thing that we've seen a lot, and I don't know if this is going to carry over because this was like Brett Brown, is Ben Simmons at like the power forward and small forward. The reason I would like this pick is you could have Cole Anthony as your point guard. You move Ben Simmons to the 4, and that gives you an excuse to get rid of Al Horford's very bad contract and get like a Buddy Hield or something. So I do like this pick. Jaden McDaniels to the Nuggets. Oh boy, I mean, the Nuggets have an extremely high upside. They're sort of starting to show it. Jamal Murray is now a star. Obviously, Nikola Jokic is the best center in the NBA. Michael Porter Jr. is another guy that can potentially become like Kevin Durant. Jaden McDaniels might have like the highest upside in this draft. And let's see here. If Paul Millsap moves on in free agency, he'd be a great fit for Boston. That's actually something that I could see happening. Jaden McDaniels could either start if they like what they see for him in like training camp or whatever, or use Jeremy Grant. Um, but Jaden McDaniels, high upside, good defender, has a very well established post game and the mid range, a lanky frame and rough freshman year. Yeah, he didn't play the best at Washington, but he's still got the upside. Stretch four, absolutely. Everything I just said. I said he's like a good shooter, outstanding shooter, and Nuggets could kind of use a bit more shooting, really. Tyrese Maxey to the Jazz. Tyrese Maxey is a guy, I don't know if he's a point guard or a shooting guard. He's either. He probably split his time at Kentucky playing. Well, I don't really know about that. I take that back. Like, he was playing against Devon. He was playing alongside Devon Dotson. So obviously he was playing the shooting guard. But obviously Mike Conley was trash this season, and that might have just been a fluke because he was also dealing with some injuries and stuff. But he was not good for his contract. He might get traded. I don't know what team would want him though. Like, I don't know, man. But Tyrese Maxey provides instant help. He's probably one of the most NBA ready prospects in this draft. He's another guy who's just a total package. He can score, shoot, defend a little bit, facilitate. He's the kind of guy the Jazz might need. I have a feeling the Jazz don't do well this season, Rudy Gobert is going to get traded. So if they want to keep Jazz fans, you better hope for this pick if you like Rudy Gobert. Not many people do anymore. Jamius Ramsey to the Bucks. Aside from his free throw shooting, Ramsey was so efficient. He was like 50-50 type guy at Texas Tech. He can't really hit his free throws, but the Bucks desperately need shooting for the playoffs, because if you're playing the Bucks in the postseason, the reason they always get eliminated early is because outside of like Chris Middleton, George Hill, Brook Lopez, they don't have many outstanding three-point shooters. Giannis has been working on it, but it's just not really there yet. Ramsey would definitely help get like the team three-point percentage up. He's also an amazing defender, pretty good athlete as well. So, good shooter for the second unit here. And then we got Aleksev Pokusevski for the Thunder. This guy is a good stretch. He's a really good stretch four. I mean, 7'0", 195. That's a pretty bad frame. I mean, that dude's got to put on some weight. So, he's like really slim. He has got to put on some weight, and that's probably the reason why he's got 25th. But Gallinari's free agency is pretty heated. It's going to be pretty heated. I've just copied the name of an article I heard. He might get traded. A lot of teams are going to want him, like potentially the Denver Nuggets again. So if they don't want to keep him, and they decide to go the rebuilding route and let Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lead them into a bright future, then they could pick up this guy who can be their stretch four.
Okay, I have 5 minutes. I want cheese on my thing.
Not me. But he could definitely be like a stretch four. He hits threes. He's a pretty good defender, but my God, he has got to get at least to like 230 pounds. Malachi Flynn to the Celtics. Interesting. Do they take another guard? No. They had what's his face? Sadiq Bey earlier. Let's assume the Celtics use their top pick to target shooting. Malachi Flynn is a really smart guard. Agree with that. Could fill the Brad Wanamaker role really well. I mean, Brad Wanamaker, It's not like he's like 29. So if they do want to move on from him, Malachi Flynn's perfect. He's really, really clutch as well. Just watch his. Oh crap! Hold up. Never mind. I'm thinking about the wrong dude. Sorry. Sam Merrill is the guy I'm thinking of, who had an insane game winner against San Diego State. So forget what I said about that. I'll cut it out of the video anyway. Leandro Bolmaro to the Knicks. Now this is a guy with some good upside. He's a good shooter. I don't think Bolmaro would get much playing time right out of the gate, but he definitely serves as a guy that could develop and turn into a good player for their future. I don't know how I feel about doing this and Devin Vassell. It's almost like they're just trying to stock up on shooting guards and small forwards, and they have R.J. Barrett. I mean, one of those two would probably be like their small forward of the future. The other guy was Devin Vassell. I said that already. Vassell or Vassell? Which one is it? Comment down below. But, I don't know if I like another person of this frame, whatever position. That Isaiah Stewart to the Lakers, who is one of the best interior players and rebounders. This is kind of a throwback center who can also hit the midi. I mean, Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee are up there in age, and Markieff Morris at the center. I mean, it was decent except when he absolutely sold Game 5 of the finals. Isaiah Stewart is also another guy from Washington with some decent upside. They can maybe even run him at the power forward if they want to do some small ball crap. Even though they have Anthony Davis and LeBron potentially playing point guard again. 6'9", he's a small ball center for sure. But he's still an outstanding rebounder, really good post player and defender. Pretty good mid-range shooter as well. I think he can hit the three occasionally. He'll want to work on that to be truly deadly in the NBA. And 29, Zeke Naji to the Raptor. Oh, hold up. I mean, Zeke Nnaji is really he's one of the best defenders in the draft. But I don't know if the Raptors really need defense. I mean, what I think they need, I think they should have drafted a point guard here. Like maybe Trey Jones. Because Kyle Lowry is getting old. Fred VanVleet might leave. So I don't really like this pick whatsoever, honestly. Robert Woodard to the Celtics. They say he's a guard, but he's not a guard. 6'7", 230 pounds. That's like small forward, maybe even power forward if they want to go with some small ball stuff. At this point, it's all about just improving their bench, and they definitely need a backup small forward, even though I think Sadiq Bey would fill that role. I definitely like this as a backup small forward, though. So, there we go. I have let's just make sure it's not like 2 rounds or anything. Okay, no, good. So there we go. I have reacted to this mock draft. Let me know if you disagree with what I agree or disagree with. And hey, feel free if you want to make like a mock draft and show it to me. I'm right here. I'll give you thoughts, feedback, all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoy it. Like and subscribe. I get to eat sloppy joes for dinner. Hee hee hee.